Hello everyone. Today I have a great video concerning the valuation of Ethereum. Could it pump to 10x? Do you have Ethereum in your portfolio? A lot of the information that I'm going to discuss today comes from the Standard Chartered Bank, which is a multinational bank in England, British I think. They offer banking and financial services to people, crypto investing. So this report came out, and the way they spoke about it, it really looked like it was for regular people. There's not too much jargon or technicalities about it, just valuations that in plain English. And I encourage you to read it. I thought it was a great read. I can't believe information that good is free. And you should definitely take the time to read reports from them and other people as they come out. So they're saying that they think Ethereum could 10x. It's at 3,500 around. I think it pumped more than that today, but so a 10x from 3,500 would be 35,000. And certain things have to happen for that to be true. Certain conditions have to be met. Bitcoin has to perform. Bitcoin has to blow off top and be at 175,000. Ethereum derives its value from the applications that sit on top of it. And you have to understand what Ethereum is. Ethereum is infrastructure. It's like the TCP/IP protocol of the internet. How valuable is the protocol that runs all of the internet? Very, very valuable, right? Because of the programs that are on it. So not necessarily itself, but what sits on it. So Amazon, Google, Facebook, Netsy, a bunch of programs, applications, all the cloud, that gives the TCP/IP protocol high degrees of value. So it's a derived value, not the token itself, not ETH itself. Ethereum is digital oil. It powers the infrastructure. So when you use the computational power of a smart contract, you pay an ETH, and the more computational power, then the more you have to pay. So as things are developed on Ethereum, dApps and so forth, then Ethereum becomes more valuable. This is in stark contrast to Bitcoin that doesn't do any of that. It doesn't develop itself. It's a store of value. It's digital gold, but it's not innovating itself. And to quote Elon Musk here, if you can innovate at a much higher degree than your competitor, then at some point you will overtake that competitor. Not to say that Bitcoin is a competitor. It's apples to oranges comparison. But the fact that Ethereum and the dApps that sit on Ethereum are improving themselves, they will likely outpace the market cap of Bitcoin. Like Bitcoin will be number 2 instead of number 1. And there's a relationship between Bitcoin and altcoins that has existed thus far, but it could change. That relationship currently, as it stands, is that when Bitcoin, goes up in value, and then when it stays there, when it goes sideways, when it oscillates, but it pretty much stays in place, then the altcoins take off, right? And that's true of Ethereum's right now as well. So there have to be certain conditions met for the value of Ethereum to take off. According to the Charter Bank, they say it could be a 10x gain, but certain conditions have to be in place for that to happen, like what I described with the Bitcoin, Ethereum, really Bitcoin altcoins relationships. And as of today, October the 5th, 2021, in the making of this video, Bitcoin is over 50,000, but it hasn't kept pumping. And we see that altcoins like Ethereum, like a lot of other altcoins, Shiba Inu, they took off in a huge way. And there's other things going on with Shiba, but still, altcoins in general took off. And it's really cool to see on your portfolio. So let's talk about what those conditions are that have to be in place for Ethereum's value to rise. Hi guys, so I want to bring your attention to this chart right here about ETH 2.0 and the amount that has been deposited or staked. That currently stands at probably a little bit higher than 7.2 million Ethereum has been staked. And if you've been on Kraken or Coinbase or however you stake, right when you hover over the stake button, it includes the message that the Ethereum will be locked until Ethereum 2.0 comes out, and there's no guarantee on that time frame. So that supply of Ethereum, that 7.2 million Ethereum that's being staked, is just locked down until Ethereum 2.0, comes out. So that is going to decrease the supply, tremendously. That's a lot of ETH, right? And also to consider is that those validators that are going to be used in the proof of stake, there's 262,000 plus validators, and each one has to have 32 ETH to do their job as a validator. So that ETH is also locked. And we're not even considering people who lose their passwords, and their ETH, they might technically not be on an exchange or anything, but that ETH is gone. It's lost. They can never use it. So that isn't taken into account when they made that calculation for supply. And one more thing is the EIP 1559, the London hard fork, that caused a change to how fees are paid on Ethereum. And so there's a base fee and then an inclusion fee instead of one fee. So every time something happens with a transaction, computational power is expended, the base fee is going to be burned. So if all those things put together, it could cause Ethereum to be deflationary because Ethereum is locked, Ethereum is being burned. If the transactions are high enough, the burn rate is really high with that base fee, then it could be deflationary, right? It just is destroyed. The Ethereum is burned. So all of that supply shock should send the price up and hopefully skyrocketing to 10x. But we have to talk about demand as well as supply, and let's cover that now. In terms of demand, there's a couple of considerations we need to make. Namely that people are paying really expensive gas fees, and the gas fees increase depending on complexity, computational power. The gas fee is also reflective of the fact that people want to use Ethereum. Like, they're willing to pay really expensive prices to use smart contracts on Ethereum because they want to use DEXs, they want to put NFTs up, and they're willing to pay. So the fact that they're willing to pay is an indication that there's high demand. And like I mentioned earlier before, the price of Ethereum really suffered due to these high gas fees, but they were still paid for, right? And I want to bring your attention to this figure right here, that if proof of stake works, if the validators do their job right, Ethereum could process up to 100,000 transactions per second, which would make Ethereum one of the fastest, infrastructure cryptocurrencies out there. And that should bring in people that are using other chains simply for the gas fees, right? Because now Ethereum is fast enough. They have the processing power, the scalability. They're developing themselves to be used more and in a faster, broader range spectrum. So I think that will attract a lot of people that currently are put off by high gas fees, and developers that want to be on a blockchain that can process, high value transactions, high speed transactions that are somewhere else now. They'll be attracted to the Ethereum blockchain. So the demand isn't as huge an implication as the supply as we covered, but if they're more competitive, more people should go there. And it really held Ethereum's price back earlier. And if Bitcoin crashes and then Ethereum 2.0 comes out after the fact, then it won't have that 10x gain, right? It'll pump probably, but it won't pump at the right time to take advantage of that relationship with Bitcoin. If the Ethereum 2.0 doesn't deliver what's expected, that could wreck the price. Another one could be that if the regulations change on Ethereum, which is currently listed as a commodity because of how decentralized it is, they say proof of stake validators is a centralization, and now you're a security and you must adhere to regulations. That could kill Ethereum. If things are regulated out of existence, that could kill Ethereum, but that's far off into the future. That won't really want to affect it this time. But you get my point. Regulations could wreck it. So all things considered, with its demand should be increasing, with its supply definitely decreasing, I think there's a very good chance that Ethereum does in fact pump at the right time and get to 10x. If it gets to 5x, that's still a really good move for Ethereum. and it's an exciting time to have it in your portfolio. So let me know if you have any questions. Is there anything I could have covered that you guys would have liked? Don't forget to subscribe to the video, give me a like, and I will see you on the next one.